Hello grade 11s, welcome back to our channel. My name is Velileni Nkosi. In this video we will be looking at the human impact on the environment. So like always, all our videos we start with discussing the examination guideline. This document that you see on your screen, it's an examination guideline. It's for life sciences grade 11s under CAPS. So it was implemented in 2024. So today we will be looking at the human impact on the environment, which falls under paper 2 and carries 37 marks. So 37 marks, it's a lot of marks. So you must make sure you understand all the content that I will be discussing today. So today we will be discussing human impact on the environment, looking at the atmosphere and the climate change. So these are the factors that we will be discussing in this video. So I hope you have this examination guideline. If you don't have, then you can get it from the Department of Basic Education website. So without wasting more time, let's get to it. So first of all, let's start with greenhouse gases. So what is the greenhouse gases? Greenhouse gases are gases which trap heat in the atmosphere. So the heat that is on Earth is trapped by the greenhouse gases. So what are those greenhouse gases? Then there are two main greenhouse gases, which are carbon dioxide, CO2, and methane. So methane, the formula for methane is CH4. So in this video we will discuss all these gases here. We will be talking about carbon dioxide and methane. So this part, these are the only gases that we will be discussing in this chapter. So first of all, let's go. Then let's see the sources of carbon dioxide and the sources of CH4, which is the methane emission. So here I will discuss the place where carbon dioxide is produced. So where is carbon dioxide is produced? Carbon dioxide, it can be produced during cellular respiration when carbon dioxide is exhaled. So you will remember in the previous chapters, during the respiration we discussed how carbon dioxide is formed in the mitochondria of a cell. So this is another source of carbon dioxide. And then again, carbon dioxide, it can be emit from decomposition of dead plants and animals. So the dead plant and animals, when they decompose, they produces or they releases carbon dioxide. This is another source of carbon dioxide. And then another is the burning of fossil fuel. So the fossil fuel we talked about, coals, oils. So these fuels that are used to maybe generate electricity. So those fuels are causing or they emit carbon dioxide. And then again, the chemical reaction in the cement industry. So there are some chemical reactions that are responsible for releasing the carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. So these are the factors or the sources where carbon dioxide is emitted. Again, the field fire and the domestic wood burning. So when we burn fire or we burn wood, so the one of the product of burning wood is the carbon dioxide. Here I have an example. If you can see here, there is a fire where they burn the coals. So this process here, one of the result is a carbon dioxide. So this is the one of the sources of the carbon dioxide. Now let's look at the sources of methane. So where is methane is produced? So methane is produced on a natural anaerobic decomposition of organic material. So this is another source of methane. And then we have the gas expelled from ruminant animals such as cow and sheep. So, and then the sewage and the waste dump. So where there is a waste dump, a methane is emitted or it's produced. And then the burning of fossil fuel and organic matter. So another factor, another source is a fossil burning. So when we burn fossil fuel, so methane is emitted to the atmosphere. So here is, for example, as you can see here, this is a dumping. So it's where they dump. So here methane is released to the atmosphere. So these are the sources of carbon dioxide and the methane. So you can write them down as notes. Now let us look at the greenhouse effect in supporting life. The greenhouse effect refers to the natural warming of the earth by heat trapped by the greenhouse. So when we talk about the greenhouse effect, we talk about the effect that is produced by the heat that is trapped by the greenhouse gases. These gases act as an insulating blanket in Earth's atmosphere. So carbon dioxide and methane and the other gases, they act as an insulating blanket in the Earth's atmosphere. And then they keeping temperature evenly warm at the range that supports life on Earth. So those gases are the ones that are responsible to keep the temperature in a range where a life is sustained. So without those gases, then we will not be able to survive the temperature. Without greenhouse gases on the atmosphere, the temperature will be negative 18 degrees Celsius. So as you can see, this is very important. The importance of the greenhouse gases is to keep the temperature in a range where a life can be sustained. So if there is no greenhouse gases, and then the temperature will be negative 18 degrees Celsius, and then this temperature will not be able to sustain life. So we will not be alive without the greenhouse gases. Let's go to the enhanced greenhouse effect. Enhanced greenhouse effect is an increase in the concentration of greenhouse gases due to human activity. So this is the definition of the enhanced greenhouse effect. It's when the greenhouse is increased, or the greenhouse gases are increased, and then as they increase, they will function more. That is mean more heat will be trapped, and then this will cause the earth to increase its temperature. So the enhanced greenhouse effect is responsible for global warming. So like the global warming, hopefully you have heard about it. When you talk about the global warming, it's when the temperature of the earth is increasing. So, or it's a rise in earth average temperature. So now let's go to the effect of global warming. So the global warming has a negative effect on earth. So global warming causes desertification. So when you talk about desertification, we talk about the land that was once fertile converted to a desert. So when a land that was once a fertile, and then it converted to the desert, this is caused by the global warming, and then it's called desertification. And then again, global warming causes drought. So when you talk about drought, it's a prolonged period of low or no rainfall. So if there is no rainfall for a long time, this is called drought, and then the drought is caused by the global warming. So these are the effects of a global warming. And then again, floods. So global warming can cause floods, and then this floods is divided into two. We have a flood that is caused by increased rainfall. If the rainfall has increased, sometimes the global warming may cause the rainfall to, or may increase the rainfall. So this may cause floods, and then again the rising sea level. So if the sea level is increasing, so this will be the effect of the global warming. So these are three effects according to the examination guideline that we must be aware of. So now let's go to as you can see here, this is the desertification. Like this part here, it was fertile, and then now this part become a desert. So this is the process of desertification. So now let's go to the deforestation. What is the deforestation? Deforestation refers to the clearing of large area of a natural forest to supply timber and fuel and to free up space. So like this is caused by human. So humans, sometimes we cut trees to make fuel or to make timbers or other thing, or just to clear the space. So this, when this happen, is called deforestation, like you see on this photo. So this is the forest, but as you can see here, there was a tree cut, so these trees were cut here. So this is what we call deforestation. So what are the effects of deforestation on carbon dioxide concentration on the atmosphere? You must remember that carbon dioxide is very important. So the effect of deforestation of carbon dioxide concentration on the atmosphere: deforestation increases the level of atmospheric carbon dioxide in two ways. So this process of deforestation affect, or it increases the level of atmospheric carbon dioxide. So there are two ways that this process increases the carbon dioxide. Number one, when the trees are cut, then there will be no photosynthesis. Then this increases carbon dioxide level. You must know that during photosynthesis, trees absorb carbon dioxide, then releases oxygen. But if we cut the tree down, and then they won't be able to absorb the carbon dioxide, then the level of the carbon dioxide will increase. Number two, when the trees are cut down and burned or decay, carbon trapped in the trees is released as carbon dioxide. So the trees trap carbon, but if they are die and then decay, so this carbon is released as a carbon dioxide. These are the two ways in which deforestation affect the concentration of carbon dioxide on the atmosphere. So hopefully you are writing some notes. These are the notes. Then you can write them down so you can read it when you are going to write examination. So next up, let's see the carbon footprint. So what is the carbon footprint? Is the carbon footprint. The term carbon footprint refers to the total amount of carbon dioxide emitted by an individual or group in a year. So like individual or a group of people, the amount of carbon dioxide they release is called carbon footprint. So we have a light carbon footprint, which is a small quantity of carbon dioxide released, and then we have heavy carbon footprint. So when we talk about heavy carbon footprint, a large quantity of carbon dioxide is released. So now the strategy to reduce the carbon footprint. You must remember, if the carbon footprint is more, and then there will be the enhancement of the greenhouse, and then as the greenhouse enhance, then will cause the global warming. So the level of carbon dioxide, it must be controlled. So how can we control the level of carbon dioxide? We can refuse, reduce, recover, reuse, recycle, repair, replant, and renew. So these are the things, the things that we should apply. So with refuse, we can refuse to waste or not use or buy any disposable object. So we must avoid buying disposable object. So we must use the object that we will keep on reusing. And then we can reduce burning wood, gas, coal. So we must know that when we burn something, whatever the product, carbon dioxide is one of the product, and then as it's one of the product, it will increase the level of, or the concentration of carbon dioxide on the atmosphere. And then we can say recover and replace items. So instead of throwing stuff, then we can recover and replace, and then we can reuse product whenever possible. These things, they will avoid increasing the level of carbon dioxide. And then again, we can recycle papers, plastics, glass, and metals. Then we can recycle, and then the stuff that are damaged, we can repair. So stuff can be repaired, and then we can replant. So like the places where there were a forest, now it's no longer, like the forest is no longer there, then we can replant and then try to reduce the level of carbon footprint, and then we can renew. So these are the things that or the strategy that we can use to reduce carbon footprint. And then next up, let's look at the ozone. What is an ozone? An ozone in the stratosphere forms the protective layer that absorbs 97 to 99% of the sun high frequency and the dangerous ultraviolet radiation that is potentially damaging to the life on Earth. So when we talk about stratosphere, we talk about the above the atmosphere. So like for example, here, like this is the Earth. On top of the Earth is the atmosphere, and then above the atmosphere is an ozone. So this layer here, it's very important because it absorbs the high frequency and the dangerous ultraviolet radiation. So this layer here we will be talking about in this slide. Now let's talk about the ozone depletion. What is the ozone depletion? Ozone depletion is the thinning or disappearing of ozone layer. So like if this layer start to disappear, so this process is called ozone depletion. Like as you can see, this part here, so it's an ozone hole. So this part here, the ozone is damaged. So that is mean ozone depletion has occurred. So what causes of ozone depletion? The ozone depletion most of the time is caused by the chemical. So some chemical, it can cause by chlorofluorocarbons and hydrofluorocarbons used in older refrigerators. So these older refrigerators, they were using these chemicals, and then these chemicals were very bad for the ozone layer. So now it's no longer used, and then another chemicals are used. So this is one of the chemicals that are very dangerous, or they are destroying the ozone layer. And then another thing, bromine from pesticides and the fire extinguisher. So the bromine that is found in the fire extinguisher, it also causes ozone depletion. So these are one of the chemicals that need to be avoided at all cost. And then now let's look at the consequences of ozone depletion. What happens if like there is a hole like this one? So what happens in human? The ultraviolet radiation exposure weakens immune system. So in human, this light that is absorbed by the ozone layer, it weakens our immune system, and then it can cause skin cancer and the sunburn, and our skin will be aging. So these are the consequences of ozone if it's depleted. That is mean this ultraviolet radiation will get straight to our skin. So this is how it will affect us as human. And then in agriculture, this ultraviolet radiation will interfere with photosynthesis in plant growth. So this depletion will cause this plant to not functioning well when coming to photosynthesis. and then S is not functioning well, and then the carbon dioxide will be higher because photosynthesis will be affected, or photosynthesis is affected. So these are the consequences of ozone depletion. So now this is the end of this lesson. I hope you have learned something. So please, if you have watched this video to this far, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And then if you are studying, good luck with your studies. Thank you very much. God bless you.